Hello, everyone. I am John L. Leak, and I'm here today to share with you some information about parliamentary procedure. Let's get going. We are going to look at 4 different areas of parliamentary procedure. We're going to start with what is it, go on to why is it important, talk about how does it work, and end with where you can get more information. So what is parliamentary procedure? It is defined as a rule that defines how a particular situation or a particular outcome is achieved in a legislature or deliberative body, and it is also defined as parliamentary law. Why is parliamentary procedure important? I know I said it is defined as parliamentary law, but you don't need to worry about the parliamentary police showing up at one of your meetings. However, it is important that you follow the rules because our bylaws say we must. If you look at the bylaws of the International Association of Insurance Professionals, you will see that it says that the rules of Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised, govern all the proceedings of the association. And if you look at your local, council, regional bylaws, you will find either identical or very similar wording. The good news is that there are benefits to following parliamentary procedure at your meetings beyond simply doing it to follow the rules. It allows groups to focus at the task at hand. It allows groups to make decisions that the majority support while still giving every member the opportunity for input. Meetings tend to be more orderly and efficient. And I don't know about you, but that's something I truly appreciate when I attend a meeting. I've been at many IAIP meetings where members have been very passionate about what was being discussed and sometimes had very differing views. By following parliamentary procedure, we were able to avoid chaos and frustration because every member had the opportunity to speak in an orderly fashion. Now let's talk about how parliamentary procedure works. Did you know that everyone has a role in making parliamentary procedure work? Let's first talk about the presiding officer. One of their responsibilities in following parliamentary procedure is to write and follow the agenda. They are responsible for making sure that they follow parliamentary procedure, and if they don't feel comfortable in that, they should appoint a parliamentarian to assist them. And another key thing that they need to do is to make sure that a quorum is present. A quorum is the minimum number of members who must be present in order to make binding decisions. And the information on what the quorum is for your group will be found in your bylaws. The Secretary also has a very important responsibility according to parliamentary procedure. They are to document the business of the meeting. Their minutes become the official record of what went on. As an aside, it's important to note that the Secretary is not required to list exactly who said what. What their job is to record the business of what was decided. Meeting attendees also have responsibilities under parliamentary procedure. They are responsible for making motions, participating in discussion, voting on motions, and following the rules of the organization. Parliamentary procedure provides guidelines on how you should act at a meeting. First of all, before speaking, you must be recognized by the presiding officer. You should not interrupt other members who are speaking. Members who have not spoken get priority over members who have already spoken. Members are only allowed to speak twice on the same topic, and all members must adhere to the announced time limits with regards to how long they can speak. Let's talk about one of my favorite things to do at meetings, and that is making motions. All members have the right to make a motion, and they typically start with, I move to, or I move that. All motions must receive a second. If it doesn't receive a second, it goes no further and is not discussed. The person making the motion has the first right to speak on it. All discussion must remain relevant to the motion at hand. If people start to go off topic, they are considered out of order, and it is the responsibility of the presiding officer to rein that out of order discussion and return to the task at hand. Sometimes it is determined that a change might be needed to the original motion. That is done by making an amendment. The wording is, I amend the motion to, etc. That amendment must also receive a second in order to be discussed. The amendment is discussed, voted on. If the amendment passes, then the original motion is voted on as amended. If it does not pass, the original motion is voted on as originally presented. Some motions require a 50% majority to pass, and some require a higher percentage. You will be able to determine that by reading your bylaws. Here are a few tips to keep you on track with reference to parliamentary procedure. You should go into every meeting knowing what your quorum requirement is. As mentioned before, this is typically found in your bylaws and is usually expressed by a percentage of membership. Without a quorum present, you are unable to make binding decisions. You should have available at every meeting a Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised, a stopwatch, and a bell. These become necessary should you need to time discussion. If that is the case, you should appoint a timekeeper. I also recommend that you consider purchasing an electronic copy of Robert's Rules of Order. With all of the e-reader apps available for our phones, it's an easy way to make sure you have Robert's Rules of Order handy. Some motions require a simple majority to pass, whereas some may require a 2/3 majority, and that is all outlined in your bylaws. It's important to note that once you determine you have a quorum, you base the votes not on the number of members, but on the number of members participating. Let's end our discussion with information on where you can get some more information. First of all, Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised, is a great source of information. You can also Google Parliamentary Procedure, and you will find many articles online. And finally, don't overlook the seasoned members in your organization. They are often a wealth of information. Thanks for listening. I hope you got some information and feel more comfortable about parliamentary procedure.